It's not every man, but it's always man. This is something that I read recently, and I heard so many shocking stories in the last days. And also, something really bad happened to me again, and I felt like I'm not really protected. And this just made me realize that we live in an age where someone that like does tax fraud or something else, not to say that this is okay, that someone that commits tax fraud gets more punishment or penalty than someone that rapes kids or sexually harasses women or does other bad things. And I think this has to end. Like, why get they protected? We as the victims should get protected. And I'm shocked by all of these circumstances. And I thought, like, okay, we are in a modern age and something like this should not happen all over again. But I think the more internet is there and the more possibilities also with AI, the more of these bad things happen. And somehow it's also cool for some people to record videos of them doing their crime and sell it or post it somewhere. And I have seen that there are like groups on Telegram where men used to like send videos in where they commit their crimes and other men would hype them up. And this was a really big crime case. And somehow, okay, people talked about it, also about the Epstein files and everything. But somehow it's always the people with money and power that get along with it. They just move on. And somehow all of this like justice thing is not really built for protecting victims. It's more built for protecting the offenders. Like, I can tell you something that happened to me recently, and I'm shocked. I was in a spa relaxing, and the minute I came in, I was already feeling kind of weird because there was a guy following me, and I was just like trying to get out of the way of him, and he was following me everywhere. And then he finally left me for some seconds, and I was just relaxing more, and I was thinking, okay, this is how we women feel. Somehow it is the case. Not to say that this is okay, but I'm kind of used to it. That's also something shocking. I'm used to feeling like this. And other women are also used to feeling like this. And I was talking to a man about this recently, and he told me he's not even shocked anymore when he hears stories like this because it's so normal. And I get the point. Like, we are so used to seeing all of this on the news and people telling us what happened to them. And I was also thinking, wow, like, I know so many women that had bad experiences with men. If it is a stalker, if it is a crazy ex that would be super aggressive or abusive. And I also know many, many stories about now grown men or women that got raped or got abused in many different forms in their childhood. And I'm just thinking like, wow, these are just kids and they don't get enough protection. And somehow, even if some speak up, they don't really get the help that they need. And I wanted to drop this in quickly before I continue with my story. This is a little messy, this video, because I'm not using a script and I'm just talking about all of my thoughts. And there are so many thoughts. And I'm pretty sure you can all relate with it. Yeah, basically what happened then is that I was wearing my bathing robe and I was like in the sauna garden reading my book and drinking tea. And this man comes in. He was lying a little far away from me and was looking at me all the time, and I already had a feeling that he was touching himself. Somehow I also thought that he already did it when I was in the sauna, but I was too afraid to look because like you don't want to see that, right? But yeah, then he was going. And then he came back like 1 minute after, and he was then like laying next to me. And I was just reading my book, not like looking at him. I was always looking on my book because I did not want to see him in the eyes. I was so afraid that he would come and like talk to me, and I didn't want to talk to him. But yeah, then I was reading and I could see in like my eyes on the side that he was moving his hand up and down. And I don't want to get into more details of this, but basically, yeah, I was shocked because then I like told myself, okay, stop. So many times you have an uncomfortable feeling when you go somewhere because a man is looking at you, he's touching you, or he's trying to do something to you, and you always keep yourself small. And this is not what we should do. Never. And there was another woman sitting there and another man sitting there. So I was thinking, okay, even though this might be true now, what I thought I've realized, I'm still in a surrounding where I'm not alone. So yeah, then I looked at him and it, and I was shocked. I was speechless. But I directly like, I was so shocked. I was like screaming at him. I was just so shocked. And he got up and like tried to like go away. but no one helped me. Like, they were just laying there looking, and I was basically all alone. Then he tried to like leave, and then I followed him, and there was a place where no one could see us, and he was even like raising his hand because I did not stop screaming. And you need to think, like, I was screaming at him the whole time, and this was like this here, there was the sauna and there was the exit, and he had to go through all of this. And I was screaming, I was following him, I was reaching out for help, I was screaming, call the police, call the police, call the police. No one helped me. I was in shock. And then when he got close to the entrance, some guys stopped him, thankfully. And then a girl came to me, and I had like a panic attack and I broke down. And she just brought me into another room so no one would see me or hear me because I was screaming. But first of all, I did not realize this. I was really happy that she was there. And I told her, like, I was in shock, I was shaking, but I still told her, like, call the police. And the guy came in. I also said to him, like, call the police, call the police. And I was sitting there, and then she told me, like, this girl was super nice. She was super young. So I don't want to blame her because she was just working there. But like, no one else came. I was just with her alone. And then after some time, the manager, not even the manager, also like a random guy that was also relatively young, came in, and he said, yeah, he will not have access to this facility any longer. And then I was thinking, okay, cool, I will never go here again anyways. But did you call the police? And then he said, no, we did not call the police. And I was like, why? Why didn't you call the police? And then he said, yeah, it's against the law to keep him here. And he was right about it. And that's why I'm saying, like, also, like, the law is not protecting us. They are protected. He could just run away with that and go somewhere else and do the same thing, or even worse. Who knows if this man has kids? Who knows if he has a girlfriend or a woman, what he's doing to her? No one knows how many victims this guy has. And I was just one of them. And I'm still shocked by this. And I was just like telling them, please call the police. But I was so shocked, I was shaking, and I could not call the police myself because I did not have my phone there. So I was basically sitting there in total shock and not comprehending that they did not call the police and that this guy could just run away. And then something that concerned me even more is that the nice girl that was working there told me that something like this happened before me also. And I'm just thinking, okay, as a spa, I would want all of my customers to feel super safe. This should be a safe space to wind down and calm down. And I would do everything to protect people. And if this happens, I would afterwards definitely change something. But you know what they did? And this is even something that is more shocking. I was only with this girl. There was no real manager or someone else. And I would say this girl was like 2 years younger than me. And then she gave me a little gift card with 2.5 hours of free stay there. And I was just thinking, okay, you're trying to silence me? Like, not this girl, but like someone handed her this voucher to give it to me, right? So again, I'm not saying anything against this girl. She was super sweet. But I was so shocked. Like, first of all, they did not help me. I was screaming the whole time. Then I was put into a room so other people would not see me or hear me cry. Then I was basically escorted through, like, she was waiting there and brought me to my car. And I also wanted this because I was afraid that this guy was standing outside. But yeah, somehow I felt like I was like the one that should not be seen or heard. And then I got this gift card to stay silent, I guess. And yeah, this is just one thing that happened to me out of many, many different things. But this happened recently, and I can only now talk about it because I was so terrified. And when I posted this on my Insta, so many women reached out to me telling me their shocking experiences when they were young, when they were older, like everything. You can imagine everything. And I'm just at a point where I'm so sick of this. Like, why don't we get protected? Why? Also in my surroundings, so many bad things happen. And if something happens and they catch the offender, he mostly doesn't even get a real penalty for it. Like, why? You are just basically telling people that, oh, yeah, this can happen, like what you did. You can do it again because nothing will really happen to you. And I'm so sick of this. Also how we get treated. Like, somehow, I'm not saying that this is like the case for every man, but I have the feeling that most men just always see women as an object. And I was watching a documentary about women in sports where they were told that they are not allowed to wear shorts. So the men are allowed to wear wear shorts that are long, and the women are not allowed to wear shorts. Like, they were forced to wear bikini shorts. I think this was for volleyball. And then this women's team wore shorts and they got a penalty for 1,500 euros. I'm shocked. Okay, so what does the short of a woman has to do with her sports? Also in other sport or activities. Women always get forced to wear super short things, and also some photographers make pictures then of the women in really bad places. Like, you want it to be private, but you have to wear a short that is super short, so basically everyone can see everything. And I'm still asking myself, why? This is so unfair. Like, also imagine you are a woman that is on her period. You already feel really uncomfortable. You don't want to be forced to wear a super short short that is not even a short. It's basically a bikini somehow. And if you don't wear it, you are not allowed to do the certain sport. What? And there's so many different things that I could talk about now, but I just wanted to speak up for the woman that I know, and also myself, and also these tragic things with women in sports. And there are so many different topics where we could talk about and discuss. I'm just asking myself why it is like that. Maybe because the people that have power over it don't really prioritize it, and maybe also want to see women in short bikinis playing volleyball. Maybe this is what they want to see, and that's why they have these penalties if they don't follow and don't act like that. And I'm just shocked, and somehow it always leaves me with a feeling of being super helpless and left alone. And I know that I'm not the only one. But I want to build a space where we all feel more seen, and I want you to speak up. I want you to speak up. And I did the same thing multiple times. Something else that happened to me, I will not dive into this too deeply, but I almost died because of it. When I was going outside, someone gave me drops to knock out, and it was really overdosed, and I almost died from it. And this really put me into depression, yeah, really. And I was feeling so unsafe, and this feeling did not leave me since then. I'm always afraid. I'm always looking at my surroundings, who's looking at me, who's too close to me. And these offenders, they go away and basically don't get a penalty, or maybe even just get a little penalty, and they just go on with their lives. But the victims, they are scared forever. This is something that not just happens to you and you forget it. It stays in you forever. And let's imagine you're a child and something happens to you then. Your whole life is influenced by that. But somehow we don't get protected, and that's so sad. But basically what I wanted to say with this is that I went to the police and they did not really help me. It was more me feeling even more unsafe, but I still did it, and I also did it now because we need to show that we are here. And let's say you never go to the police if something happens to you. There are so many dark numbers, I don't know how you call it in English, but so many numbers that are not seen, so many cases that get overseen because they were never registered somewhere. And even if nothing happens, you still stood up and you said, I don't want this. This was not okay. If you stay silent, you are also the one that is not doing something. And I know it's hard because we are shocked, we are traumatized, and then we need to speak about it, but we have to do it for each other. Let's protect each other. Let's be women that help each other and build a safe space and speak up for us. This is something that I would really wish for myself and all of us. We need to stick together and just support each other. And the offenders should not go away without anything. So my beautiful angels, I know this video was so tough, but I had to get this out of my mind. It's still on my mind afterwards as well, but I want to change something also with my content, and I want also other people to see that maybe experience the same things. And I want to tell you, you are not alone. You are not alone. We are so many victims. All of my friends have experienced something bad to a certain extent, and I can tell you that many of them experienced horrible things. We are so many women that experienced some type of abuse, harassment, or rape. And if we stay silent, we are just basically following the system. But this is not working, right? Because the system is not protecting us. So let's speak up and use our voice. Thank you so much for watching. And if you don't want to miss any other videos, you should subscribe. And we're going to see each other in the next video on Sunday. Bye.